All right, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you on behalf of the Broward MPO and Broward County to a public meeting for the Broward Safety Action Plan. I'm getting some echo here. For the Broward Safety Action Plan. Just a sec. Fuzzle. I'm getting some echo. You're getting echo? Anyway, are you? Yeah. Just feeding into. Okay. Anyway, we're very excited to have you all here. We have several people here at the Fort Lauderdale Women's Club in person, and I understand we have several people online that have signed up for the virtual meeting. Those of you who are online, if you can use the question and answer function if you want to make some comments or such. Selena Saman is there from our team, and I see we have some familiar names and other names I'm not as familiar with that are in attendance virtually. And then we have some people here in the meeting room itself. But we want to thank you for coming today. We are focusing on the Broward Boulevard corridor segment from I-95 to the FEC railroad tracks. And this is one of the most dangerous corridor segments that we have in Broward County. This is actually on the state list of the worst corridor segments for vulnerable users. That's the bicycles and pedestrians. So, and we do have statistics that show that there have been many bike and pedestrian fatalities and serious injuries on this corridor. So we want to be focusing on that. Christine Fanchi will be telling a lot. And if I start talking, I'm going to say some of the stuff that she's going to say. So I'll just hand it off to her right now. Thank you. And then you can advance right there.
Thank you, James. All right. So if you didn't get a bracelet, I see some of them flashing in the room. Halloween's coming too. So everybody needs to get a bracelet so we can be seen. So we'll start. Oops, I keep thinking that's fine. There we go. So we'll start with a little safety message. With the Broward Safety Action Plan, we are no longer using the word accident. We're only using the word crash. And I'll tell you why. A couple years ago in downtown Fort Lauderdale, there was a crane, actually just south of us, fell. And we called it a collapse. We didn't call it a crane accident. We called it a collapse because cranes don't just fall, collapse without something happening. So people are like, oh, what happened, right? When a plane is flying, right? It doesn't just fall to the sky. We call it a plane crash because we expect answers as a society. We expect, why did that plane fall out of the sky? Was it the engine? Was it the driver? You know, weather? What was it? What was the reason? And so when we say car accident, it just implies that just those cars just ran off the road and, you know, they collided and there was no reason. So if we use the word crash, we get that accountability, right? So why did those cars crash? You know, was it alcohol? Was it lighting? Was it, you know, speed related? You know, what was the reason? And so now when we say car crash, we're like identifying kind of what are the solutions? What are the reasons, right? So really it makes us more accountable as a society. So if I could ask one thing tonight, it's that you use the word crash, not accident, starting right now. Can I use this one? All right. So good news, Broward County and Broward MPO won $5 million Safe Streets and Roads for All grant, one of the largest in the whole country. So for us, so we can do great things. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it without the partnership between the county and the MPO. Big picture, hope everybody can see this. Per the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, in 1975, we had 44,525 fatalities. In 2022, 47 years later, 42,514 annual fatalities. So over those 47 years, we dropped, what is that, like less than 5% over 47 years. So we have a lot of work to do. And so we're here with the mission to prevent traffic fatalities and serious injuries throughout the whole county. That's our goal. And these markers obviously are around our county where people have fatally died in traffic. So we don't want to see any more of these. So hopefully our future will have no markers. So we're going to start off with a pop quiz. Everybody has to engage, even if you know. Is Broward County's fatal crash rate more similar to France or Egypt? France? Raise hands. Egypt? Okay, it's for Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a lot of for Egypt. Okay, oh, I keep on going down on that one. Too many computers. All right, it's not France, so you guys are really smart. You got a smart room. Broward County traffic deaths per 100,000 is 11.8, and France is 5. So we are more than double the country of France. And you can see on this list, Canada, France, Australia, Japan, Germany, and Sweden and Norway. Those are usually countries that we associate, you know, our country with. Answer is Egypt. So you guys are really smart. So everybody gets a bracelet. So as you can see here, Broward County 11.8 and Egypt 12.8. So we're right there with Egypt. We're on the list with Bangladesh, Turkey, Mexico, Russia, Philippines, Romania. So
we're talking like whole countries though.
Yeah.
And Broward County.
no worries. Welcome. All right, so we have some work to do. So what's happening in Broward? So through the Broward Safety Action Plan, we've done a lot of analysis throughout Broward County. And I'll just share some stats. Over the years of 2018 to 2022, we had 250,729 crashes. And out of that, we had 4,832 people either killed or seriously injured in those 5 years. That equates to about 137 crashes every day in Broward. And every week in Broward, we lose 4 people to traffic and another 18 seriously injured. Okay, so 137 crashes every day, psycho. Every week, 4 people are fatally killed, another 18 are seriously injured. So I'll just share, I was at the DMV all afternoon with my 16-year-old. So I have another driver in my house, and I'm telling him every day, there's 137 crashes per day. Be careful. Other facts, over those 5 years, we had 1,014 loved ones that were taken. We had 4,702 additional people that were seriously injured. On top of that, just in those 5 years. And then kind of a sliver of good news, 77% of those killed and seriously injured are happening on only 6% of our streets. So if you think of all the streets, the good news is we have to fix 6% to save 77% of our killed and serious injuries. So another part of that story is kind of, what does that cost our community? So as you can see here, killed and serious injury crashes are about 2% of our total crashes. So 2% of crashes, but they equate to 61% of our economic costs on our communities. And that's the cost of the fire, the PD, everyone stuck in traffic, their time. If I perish, then my family loses income, you know, all the insurance, medical, all that. So kind of all that added together, and 61% that we can save. So if we can eliminate this 2%, we can save 61% for our communities and spend that money on other things that are awesome, right? Parks and bike lanes and all kinds of stuff. So that's another goal. And then as you can see, we've got 76% that are zero injury fender benders. So most of our crashes in Broward, and they equate to 6% of our economic impact. So a big difference. So with this grant, we are using a new engineering approach called the safe system approach. As you can see here, it's divided into the 5 buckets: safe road users, safe vehicles, safe speeds, safe roads, and post crash care. It's also got the 6 principles around the edge. And I'll just mention, my favorite is the responsibility is shared, meaning that usually when somebody gets into a crash, we usually blame the person driving, walking, biking. Like, oh, what did you do? You were at wrong, right? But it's like a whole system that we're trying to create to make sure that people are safe, whatever mode they travel. And so the system is designed by engineers and planned by planners and operated by our traffic operators, our bus operators. So we've got a whole system of transportation experts that are designing, let's say, Broward Boulevard, overseeing the signal operations, overseeing how we use the street. And so if all of us use the safe system approach, where we understand that humans are vulnerable, that we can get a better outcome. It's not just on me to, look both ways and cross and, so it's on all of us. So here tonight to say it's shared responsibility and we can do it together. So how do we get to Broward Boulevard? We first did a high injury network for the whole county. We also did a high risk network, overlaid those. We did a full equity analysis, which got posters in the back that show our whole system-wide equity analysis. Would love to share that with you after this. And then from there, we did a project prioritization of all the corridors based on the risk and the equity. And we were able to basically prioritize 11 corridors. Going to that computer, I'm sorry. So this is an example of our high injury network in red. Overlaid, you can see the purple lines are our high risk network, and then the purple background, the deeper the purple, the higher the equity indicators. So you can see like this really great purple swath between the Turnpike and I-95 is really where our high equity indicators are. So this is our high injury map. And then these are 11 corridors. So we've got city, state, and county streets that are part of our priority corridors. It's over 20 miles. We've got 4 that are in cities: Southwest 10th, Royal Palm, Rock Island, Sistrunk Boulevard, and Taft. And then 3 county, 31st Avenue, 19th, and West Broward. And then 3 state corridors, 441 Sterling Road, and of course, East Broward Boulevard, that we're here tonight. So let's talk about East Broward. Oh, I pulled the wrong one. Let me go to the board. Or do you want to read it off? I did this earlier, sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Vanna. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. All right, sorry. Thank you, Jose. All right, so East Broward Boulevard, the limits are 95 to the FEC tracks, as James mentioned. We've got 425 crashes every year on just that stretch. Within the 5 years, 2019 to 2023, we had 8 people fatally killed, including 4 pedestrians, a bicycle, and 3 vehicles. We had another 25 that were seriously injured, and you can see the mix. We've got bikes, peds, motorcycles, and cars. So we're equally unfortunately getting hurt. On this corridor, we've got between 47 and 75,000 cars per day, which is mind-blowing. The posted speed is 40 coming off the interstate, and then 35 as you come into downtown. The weekday weekday actual speed of cars is 44, 85th percentile, and our weekend is 47. So we've got people going even faster on the weekends. Just to note, we've got 66% of crashes happening during the day, 34 at night, which is actually higher than most of our other corridors. 34 is pretty high. Crashes are happening between intersections, 76% between intersections. They're happening on dry roads, 86% of the time. Distracted driving was noted on 14% of all crashes, 2% of alcohol and drugs were noted, and then 21% speeding was noted on our crash reports. And then our largest type of crash, I'll just note, what we got? Left turn crashes at 21, and then pedestrian at 36, bicycle at 18. So Jameson mentioned that the state has identified East Broward Boulevard as a high crash corridor for peds and bikes, and the data shows it. So you've got the 36 and 18, which is very, very high. So thank you very much. So kind of why are we here? So we really need to hear from you. The question we want answered tonight is, what roadway safety concerns are you having on this corridor? So we have a roll plot in the back of the corridor, and we'd really like to invite you to come and tell us how you're using the corridor. There's 3 ways that you can tell us. You can come to the roll plot and tell us, and we'll write it on a sticky. Hopefully we'll get lots of those. We also have comment cards right here at the front. If you're shy, I don't think any of you are shy, but if you're shy, you can fill out a comment card and leave it right here. And then the 3rd way is we have a website. It's www.safestreets4broward.org. And we've got a comment map there where you can pin your comments on the map and tell us anything you'd like. And if you leave here tonight and you think of something in the middle of the night, you can go on the website and leave me a message. Be like, Christine, I forgot to tell you about this issue I have. So it's there for you all the time, 24/7. So what's next? What's next is, after tonight, we're gonna take, all of your input and we're gonna start designing a concept. With the hope to come back in early 2025. Hopefully the Women's Club will have us again, and present a concept. And then we'll take that, finalize it with your input, and then the plan will be adopted next summer. Is the plan. And then last slide is really how can you stay involved? There's 3 ways. So like I mentioned, we've got this wonderful website, safestreets4broward.org. And it says it on your bracelet, so you'll never forget. On there, the safety pledge, we'd love for you to take, basically committing to safer behaviors right now. What action can you take? The pointed out map I mentioned is on there. It's very accessible. And then this third thing, we've got a dedication page. We'd really like to dedicate this plan to people who have lost their life in traffic. So if you know anyone who has, we'd love for them to put their name on the map so we can dedicate the plan to them. The second way is social media. We've got Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram with Broward MPO and Speak Up Broward. And then the third way is email, ss4a@browardmpo.org. So we'd love for you to stay involved. We look forward to hearing your comments. So I'd really like to invite everyone to meet us at the back and we'll talk about Broward Boulevard. Thank you.
Yeah, for those online. Oh,
Someone checking whether anybody online has
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah.
So Selena, who's online, she's going to take care of the online participants.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to log off here.
Okay.
So can you just unshare your
Yeah.
screen?
What I wanted to, Christine,
Thank you, Fazal.
Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your email?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. I will be sharing in a moment the map of the corridor that shows the beginning of the project till the end of the project. I appreciate if you can help us collect any comments or issue that you think are on this corridor so we can include them in our design. If you would like to speak, you can raise your hand and I will unmute you from my end. Okay, so you can see my screen now. So if you don't have a specific issue, maybe we can start by talking about why would you think this is the worst corridor in terms of KSI of vulnerable users. So we noticed that 36% of pedestrian and 18% of bicycle KSI are happening among the KSI that are happening on this corridor, and this is a pretty high percentage. So does anyone know why would that be the case? Maybe if you live nearby this corridor or you drive past it to go to work. If you know of any issue, please let us know. And if you like to speak, please raise your hand. You can also drop your question or your comment in the Q&A section. Yes, Marianne.
Yes, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
A pleasure
Thank
to
you
be
for
here.
joining us.
It's my pleasure. I want to share an experience.
Mhm.
I am part of a group known as the AARP
Uh-huh.
organization, and once a year, they partner with Broward County in what they call the White Cane Day. And
Okay.
white cane is relates to people that walk with the white cane.
Uh-huh.
Most of them would be sight impaired. And we actually walk from the Broward County Library. I can't tell where it is on the map. I'm not good at looking at this, but I think, is it Andrews Avenue? It might be Andrews. To Broward Boulevard.
Okay.
And we cross the street with these people who are walking with their white cane. And
Wow.
you would be quite amazed how few people, even that are driving, pay attention to people walking with the white cane. And just so that you know, we are surrounded by mounted police who are monitoring the roadway, of course, so that these people can cross without any problem.
Uh-huh.
And it is still shocking how few drivers are paying attention
Wow.
to what is actually going on. So I think I'm in the same corridor, more or less, where you are having your discussion.
Mhm.
It's just the mindlessness of the drivers. And I'm sure there's not much we can do about it, but it just happens to be the nature of the way we're driving today. So you can only imagine a person that might be trying to get across with a bicycle, or somebody who may also have some sort of an impairment walking. Takes them time. So I don't know how we change the thinking of the driver, but hopefully from what we're doing with the Safe Streets for All, we may come up with some ingenious ideas. So that I just wanted to, while others may be waiting to respond, I thought I'd add that in.
All right, thank you for sharing that with us. I'll definitely share it with the group, and we will include that in our design. Did you happen to pass by this corridor at night, for example?
Well, we were there mostly during the earlier part of the day,
Uh-huh.
so we didn't see this at night, but
Okay.
I think it's interesting to get some input from people who have had disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
disabilities, and are in the are faced with walking with those types of disabilities, and the challenges that they face in an area like this.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, you're welcome.
Pauline, I will allow you to talk.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
good. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Great presentation. Thank you. I'm doing good. I echo on Marianne's comments. I'm very, very familiar with that corridor. And I have viewed people that they just try to run and get through before the crossing guards go, or crossing gates go down. People just, they go on the track even when the crossing guard is down. And I think that's
Wow.
right. It's people they're not paying attention. I don't want to say they're ignorant, but they just are just not understanding that they have to abide by what the rules are. It's like common sense. And I see it all the time, and I'm very, very cautious now with the train crossings for sure. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. How do you think we can make this corridor safer?
Oh, I'm still on?
Yes, you are. If you have any input, you can share
I
it.
really, I think it's a very similar situation in all the train crossings that people just are in a rush or they, I mean, the lights are on at night. I see it. And I just see still people running it. And they just are not, I can't even imagine what else to do. Like the arms are down, the crossing gates are down but still people like just run it or
Wow.
I guess that's something,
Wow.
but maybe somebody else has something that they can add.
Yeah, Marianne, you had your hand up. Do you have anything to add? So Marianne, probably you need to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just commenting on what Colleen said
Mhm.
regarding it being well lit, that particular corridor there crossing the tracks. I think the problem might be how much time might it take the person crossing crossing the street? Is there enough time? Or is what Colleen's saying mostly related to trains or trains coming at that particular time?
That's a very good point for us to check the signal timing to see if in the specific corridor the signals provide enough time for pedestrians to cross.
Yes, that can be a problem without enough time. It's frightening enough for most of us that might be trying to consider crossing Broward Boulevard. And as I say, with my own experience with the people that I'm walking with, I can only imagine the shock they have to go through if they're trying to navigate across any street. But if they don't have enough time, a little more attention to the timing
Huh?
could be helpful.
Okay. So I just want to confirm, did you both, Colleen and Marianne, say that the corridor is well lit at night? So the lighting might not be the issue here?
Let me see. Where's the mute? Am I still on?
Yes, you're still
I
on.
was only repeating what Colleen said. She thought it was, I understood what she said is that she thought it was well lit.
Okay,
But I wouldn't comment on that at this point
okay.
because I don't know if it is well lit. I would also think that if it is such a busy corridor, that whatever the standard requirement lighting might be, then it should be brought to a higher level.
Mm,
People are actually crossing there. I mean, I guess what we're trying to figure out is, do people have some responsibility for themselves when they're crossing in a dangerous area, as the railroad tracks are?
right. As Christine was saying, responsibility is shared.
Yes, and if there are people that have, some disability or
True.
are homeless or whatever their conditions might be, they may not be paying proper attention. So yes, it's a shared responsibility, but if it means better lighting, maybe that could be a way of alerting the driver or the pedestrian to the danger of the area.
Mm-hmm. Pauline, do you have anything to add?
I totally think that more time is an excellent idea. I do. I think that that would be a big help for people to be
More time to
prepared.
cross.
So then people can't cross over, you know what I mean? And when they're down, then you still have that time for the, you know, the train to go by. I think that's great.
Right. Okay. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, the other comment I would make would be, it is shocking to hear the numbers that Christine reported tonight. The crashes and the fatalities. What I think is important, what you're doing tonight, is helping to make people aware of how dangerous,
Right.
how serious the situation is, and how much work and effort is being put into looking for solutions to the outrageous amount of tragic deaths. And if a person is hit in an accident, we don't know if they actually ever do recover fully, or how serious their recovery would be. So
Right.
we are, this to me is an opportunity for all the citizens to become more aware of the number, when we heard 4 people a day die, that's a lot.
That's major.
That's a major number, 4 people a
Yeah.
day. And then the way it's described, the financial,
We have it here as well.
yes.
Also
the-
economic impact.
Yes, that, you know, these aren't just made up numbers.
No,
So,
this is the data, yeah. This data came from the police reports as well.
I mean, and we are not getting this information. We're listening to things that make we're listening to things that make absolutely so little sense compared to something like this. And maybe the word common sense was used or something so far here, but it is tragic. It is tragic. And I think we should all be very grateful that Broward County is taking a very serious look
Absolutely.
and trying to make our community safer.
Yes. And this is the point of the public participation meetings, is to go to the communities and talk to people that use this corridor on a daily basis, or maybe live nearby or know anything about the corridor, and get their experience, get to know from them what the issues are, so we can properly deal with them. So yeah. Colleen, do you have anything to add? You have your hand up.
Oh, sorry. No, this is good, but I, like when the people do cross and stuff, I just think that they, again, like Marianne said, they just need to be more conscious, and, even if there's more time, they still just need to be aware that the reason why maybe more signage too, besides more lighting. I don't know, that I guess that's maybe another suggestion, more signage.
Mm-hmm.
This might be drastic input, but a drastic thought. But to post the number of people that were,
Oh, wow.
post the number,
Oh, wow.
Well,
post the number in that corridor. I think this is what gets me, that's what gets my attention. And truthfully, what gets my attention when I ride by a cross on the road, or flowers, or
Yes.
some dedication to a
Mhm.
person whose life was lost in in a particular location. It puts maybe some reality or a question, well, I wonder what happened, or, you know, because when we hear that there are so many crashes daily, I think, what number did Colleen say? She gave us a number. But how many a day?
So we have 7 crashes per year over the total of 5 years, and on average.
Yes, but she gave
So
us
in total, in 5 years, we have 425
yeah,
crashes per year.
yeah.
And
When you see a number like that, we're trying, if you put a number to something, some people may be more aware of it and realize what does this really mean?
yeah.
What does this really mean?
Mhm.
When you get 425 crashes a
Not
year.
in front. Sure.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Mhm.
just so awful.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Showing. Thank you.
Colleen, may I ask what brought you to the meeting tonight? Do you live there?
I'm actually a member, of this new, the Broward Safety Action Plan. I'm a volunteer member. I'm a resident in the northern part of the city, and I was very interested in this whole program, and it's amazing. It really is. I just like talk to anybody I see and talk to. I just and emphasize on, safety driving, and just so many people are just not aware of it, and they just take it for granted. They just get in their car and go, and there's just so much more involved with it, and it's like a privilege, in my opinion.
Thank you. We're happy to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I am on I'll just share with you, I am on the oversight committee for Safe Streets for All. And I was at the meeting last week where we were informed about these numbers. And
Oh, I'm in the back row.
you're in the back row. You must have told me. What do you work for? Were you?
I don't, it's not like I go working on behalf of any company. I'm just like a resident of the North End, just to bring in my opinions and stuff, and share the word.
Well, hopefully they did. We were talking about a one-page flyer that maybe we could post in some buildings or something to try to, again, when I was asking for a one-page flyer that I could post in the mail rooms in the condominiums. If I could get in, knock on, if they'd let me in, I would post it on the bulletin boards, because when people go every day to get their mail, they may look at something that's posted on the bulletin board. So if we have, some kind of flyer or something that could just draw people's attention and make them aware that there is some interest in trying to bring, to get us to the thing called Vision Zero, which is the, which is the title of the program that we're working with.
That's a great idea.
And if it's going to take people, Colleen, like you and me, to just kind of spread the word.
That's absolutely correct. Yep.
Get out, and we'll get other people. And if you really want an experience, I'll walk with the white cane on this takes place every year, October 15th, and it's an international event. It happens all over the world. And that's why it's such a meaningful, it's so meaningful to be part of it. And it is a law that if somebody is walking with a white cane, the car has to stop. Most people don't know that, but I think it's a federal law.
Wow.
And it's shocking to see how people don't stop. Because they
Exactly.
don't
Maybe we need more awareness about that.
It would be helpful. It's like I said, it's a big deal because they bring, when you have the opportunity to walk with people that really cannot see, you are noticing every crack in the ground. You're noticing every pothole.
Yeah.
You're noticing that rocks are just, on the sidewalks and in certain areas, how difficult it is if you're in a wheelchair. Somebody's pushing, the challenges that, some people have and what they have to overcome to just, do a simple thing like walk to a bus or whatever they may be doing on, walking, 'cause they certainly can't drive, so they
Yeah.
have to walk.
And some people take it for granted.
Some people we take so many things for granted, and until you actually walk in somebody's shoes, you actually,
Wow.
you get to feel, yes, so all of this is awareness. It's just how we get awareness out to other people.
Correct.
Yeah.
As most people would feel the way we do. It's just getting them to take the time to join in and become one of our advocates.
Mhm. Do you have any more observations or issues you would like to share with us? Do you perhaps know why specifically this intersection has the highest number of crashes? It feels like Poly Ave.
Are we speaking primarily of Broward and
Northwest 7th Ave.
Northwest 7th?
Mhm.
It's just west of Andrews. It's that big, it's where the bus terminal is.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I should scroll my screen a little bit down here. Yeah, I mean, there's so much, you would imagine that, I would say I'm driving most of the time, so I think it might have something to do with the amount of homeless people there. Is that possible? Isn't that an area, a very concentrated area around the bus station and across the street where you are meeting, where the meeting is tonight? Isn't that the area where there are all the homeless people?
Hmm. I'm trying to open it on the map so we can look.
Because, in the past, and I'm not sure, the city's talking about doing some things about, working with the homeless. Or they use another word for the people homeless, trying to find another word for that, but that's an area that I always recall seeing a large amount of homeless people there.
Mhm.
Now, in the report that we're reviewing, does it identify that as the case?
We
Or is it
We
not?
don't have data that shows us the number of homelessness in a specific location.
Selena, are you familiar with the area where you are tonight?
Selena, I'm right? Isn't that where it is? It's right there, just off of Andrews?
So this is the intersection. Northwest 7th Ave and
Well,
Broward.
that's the Burger King is there. Isn't the Burger King on one side?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And so it's a little further away, Colleen, than what we're talking
Oh,
about.
I thought you were saying, then that's my bad. I thought it was actually on the train tracks. Yeah, that's a big intersection and it's very, very busy.
And isn't
Uh-huh.
Habitat for
It's a
Humanity
huge-
right? And Habitat for Humanity is right there.
Oh,
The
I'm
center of the
sorry. I thought it was
performing-
down by the train track. Yes.
The
Mhm.
Broward Center of Performing Arts is right in that general area. No,
Mhm.
that isn't so much the homeless. No.
So
that's
very busy intersection.
Um. Yeah, but it would depend on what is bringing all the pedestrian traffic there. It is a big intersection.
Oh,
I
so then
can't-
my comments were wrong. Yeah, maybe, yes, you're right. Maybe more longer lights, turning lights, or
Yeah, that's a different location.
is there a crossing? Oh, there is the crossing thing that has the person where they can, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see
Maybe
one.
they should make
Yeah.
sound as opposed to just the hand signal.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, they used to have sound. They don't have sound anymore, these
They
crossings?
do on Andrews.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, that is a,
Oh, that was a good point. I thought it was the other, okay.
Hands.
yeah, that's a, I didn't realize that had so many. Well, there you see people walking there. It is true, there's a lot of people that do walk that area. Where are they coming from? What is
We have
bringing,
a bus stop here.
what are the neighborhoods around there, Colleen? I mean, that are a little further, north or south, that would be, because that would mean now these, the people are coming from within their own neighborhoods, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the Habitat for Humanity very close by there. That's yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely where you turn in for the Broward Center. Yeah, the Walgreens is right there.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Walgreens and everything, yeah.
Yeah, this intersection is the one with the highest
Wow.
PSI on this corridor.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that particular street.
So many pedestrian
But-
KSI as
and-
well.
It's totally lit up, that street right there. It's totally lit
Oh.
up. Mhm.
Well, I guess another problem is I was listening, I was reading something today. The problem is that such a wide, it's such a big, Broward Boulevard is just so wide. I mean, I don't know how many lanes there are right there. Is it 4 lanes on each going east and west?
Uh-huh. Let's open
It's such a big, it's such a wide,
them to see.
to be so close to residential neighborhoods around there. There isn't that much to walk to.
Exactly.
It isn't like you're that close to the downtown area. So
Right.
it'd have to be the residents. Well, I'm just imagining what would draw people to want to use to cross that intersection if you didn't live there? So I would think it's people within those neighborhoods. And I would think then it would be the people more to the north. Because the south, well, then the south, I know there's a couple of buildings there. Or, Pauline, maybe you know this a little bit better. Does that take you over to the Himmishi area?
To the Hamish, if you go north. Well, no, it really takes you to Broward Center, and then you gotta go, yeah, then you have to go west. But I don't know. I think maybe the Burger King, the Walgreens. But I think you're right. It could be the residents in that area.
I would have to
Right.
wonder who else is going there? So, Selena, as we're thinking about this, it's how do we let the people within those neighborhoods? How do we create awareness within the people in the neighborhoods
Mm.
that are most likely to have a need to use that intersection? And if it is the case with the drivers, then there should be a sign of some sort that identifies it as, identifies it as something.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
I do. And again, I'm sorry, I thought it was like further east.
No
Right.
problem.
But it's like that the whole Broward corridor is super busy, like almost all day,
Uh-huh.
no matter if it's rush hour or not. You know, it's
And it's the wide lanes. Those are true. They're
wide lane. Yes, very wide. Mhm.
just wide lanes. I remember a few years ago, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was at an event and I was actually, had to imagine myself crossing Broward Boulevard because I must have been on the north side around Andrews Avenue. And I had to cross maybe to get to my car or something. And it was a frightening thought to manage to get across that street. It was about 6 o'clock at night or something.
Wow.
So, and I thought about it as I was making the effort to get across the street or do whatever I was planning to do. What a dangerous place this is. And that's before, getting involved, of course, with something like this, but it always struck me. And especially since it's a corridor where people go for transportation because the bus is there and now the train is there.
Would it warrant any kind of like any kind of bridge or something like above for people to cross over that way? Is there that much traffic on it that maybe something, I know that it's expensive,
Like a pet bridge.
a skyway thing like they have? I don't know. Maybe that's just, I know that's super expensive.
Yeah, if there was a school nearby or something.
Yeah, that would definitely warrant it for sure.
But, it's just, I can only imagine it has to be the people in the neighborhood that are, because it would be hard to imagine. Or like you said, Colleen, there's people that need to get to a Walgreens. That Burger King, I think, is a very busy place. So you have
Yeah.
to go there. Then across the street, I think of the gas stations, which, and then, Habitat for Humanity is not too far from there, I don't think. It's close by.
Hmm.
And I often thought that, putting some, talking to some of the business owners to put some signs in there, make the business people aware for their, and people that are coming into their stores, put some, again, maybe a flyer or something, just to alert people to be aware, danger, be careful crossing, whatever might be the way to get their attention. Sometimes you need a shocking comment, a statement. We were talking before about, the initiative, the Moms for Drunk Drivers took hold, and it made us much more aware. Don't drink and drive, certain things that make us aware to think anyway.
Yeah.
It looks like we said a lot.
All the helpful things. Thank you.
I hope we said something worthwhile.
Yeah, once I got the right location. Isn't there anybody else that has any comments?
We may be the only two.
There's Catherine. I'm not sure if she has any comments.
Catherine, join in.
Maybe not. Okay. Do you have anything else to add on my colorful board?
Well,
I like all the sticky notes.
yeah. Well, I really would like to see something that identifies the area. And especially, here's another thought. If the parking garage is there for that, well, the museum, you know, we have the
Mhm.
museum there too, right? Not too far from that intersection. Museum of Discovery. I don't think it's too far from that intersection either. And then we have the big parking garage for the Broward Center.
Right, it's for the museum and the performing. Mhm.
Yes. You know, posting some notices. That museum is very busy. Lots of people going there. And there again, if you've got people from, let's say well, I would say, okay, if you're a pedestrian, you may not be going, but you know, people come from out of the area. So many people come from out of the area to go to the Museum of Discovery.
Right.
Or go to the museum, or go to the Theater for Performing Arts. And Celine, I'm not sure if we're speaking of pedestrian and bicyclists mostly, or are there also car crashes there?
There's also car crashes, yes. So
Mhm.
do you see this legend here?
Yes.
Any
Mhm.
dot that has a circle, this was a fatal crash. The purple is bicycle, pink is pedestrian, motorcycle is green, and white is motor vehicle.
Okay. So what I'm looking at here, something called Cooley Avenue and Northwest 7th Avenue. Do you see?
Yes.
Correct.
Look at how many
Yeah.
colors there are there. So that would be coming out of a neighborhood, like we were saying. They're coming out of the neighborhood, crossing Broward Boulevard, right? Is that what we're seeing there?
So this is this intersection that we were seeing. Right?
Is it Cooley? Where do we see Cooley Avenue? Cooley, yeah.
So southwest, northwest 7th Ave.
And I think Cooley would probably be to the right. Is it? Can you see where it is, Celine?
Yes. Mhm.
Let me see. Let's see. Cooley Ave. No, not this.
Cooley's Landing.
So it wouldn't be the same as northwest 7th Ave?
Well, yeah, that's what we're crossing Broward Boulevard, so Cooley Avenue, maybe.
Yeah, they changed streets, yes. Mhm. So it looks like there's two pedestrians, actually three pedestrian, right?
Motorcycle.
One motorcycle.
Zoom in more. Pedestrian, it could be more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, so yeah, because those are,
Mustard.
yep, exact. It's almost like the same spot too.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's something right there.
Yeah.
And what is on the corner? Well, when you say 7th Avenue is
Is that the Walgreens right there
Okay, let me check.
on Cooley?
I've never seen it known as Cooley Avenue. If it's where the Burger King is, it says 7th Avenue on the sign when you turn that left.
Oh, okay.
So Burger King is here and Walgreens is here.
It is, oh, okay.
This is the gas station.
I don't see where you're pointing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
So gas
Okay.
Interesting.
And then. So which part of that is the more residential neighborhood? Is it Cooley Avenue? Because I know it's Cooley Avenue where there's many more residential between Cooley 6th Avenue and maybe what's Northwest 8th Avenue.
Know where the residential, like how close it is around there.
I
You
see the
go to the
Walgreens.
north?
Yeah. So they see the Walgreens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
There's the Walgreens. And this Salvation Army. So there's the Salvation, well, it's a little further, but yeah, 8th Avenue, Walgreens. Lauderdale Power Center. And then actually, that's kind of warehouse district over there, that Northwest 8th Avenue.
This mostly looks residential now.
Yeah, let's see, American 9th, 2nd, there's Himmershey. So there's a Himmershey area. It's a little further west.
Says Dr. Kennedy Homes. I don't know what that,
Oh, yes, you know what that is?
that seems kind of close by.
You know what the Dr. Kennedy homes are? That's low income. Yeah,
Oh.
that was, do you remember that neighborhood there? That they renovated, they did some work over there. They fixed up those yeah, but it is low income. Or
So we did.
you know what it's called? It's called you know, Fort Lauderdale Housing. That's part of the Fort Lauderdale Housing Authority. That's interesting.
And so look at this map, the
Yeah.
below poverty population map.
Right.
Mm. Okay, so that's one of the things we talk about, equity neighborhoods.
Yes.
That would be that. That's what we're looking at there.
Uh-huh.
But here's what my suggestion might be. Why are we probably should reach out to the Fort Lauderdale Housing Authority and ask what their input is. Are the, you know, maybe people that were affected in one of those crashes came from that neighborhood, came from there. Maybe it has something to do with, maybe there is some connection there. And then you see limited English proficiency, people with disabilities.
We could have the signs in different languages.
Mm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I think maybe, what is the, a little further, if you, yes, population ages 65 and older.
Yeah.
So we also see, what corridor, what is that? Are we in the right neighborhood, we're in the same neighborhood, I think, right there.
I have to go get some water.
Okay. What's interesting is that we have a lot of people ranging from 10 to 17
Yeah,
north of the corridor.
yeah, trying to,
Maybe this,
well, you see you're close to a school there too. You see Walker Elementary. in that
yeah,
particular
yeah.
section.
Uh-huh.
And then it says project corridor. I'm not sure what means project corridor.
So it's the corridor of the, so East Broward. So the project corridor starts from here to here.
Mm.
This what we were starting from
Sixth, on sixth.
here to the end of the project.
So there you look again, ethnic minority. If
Mhm.
we- So this is one of the equity. Yeah, this definitely is one of the corridors that is being studied the most in this state safe streets for Broward. It's about the equity. It's people with less income and probably diverse ethnic minorities, racial minorities, or older people, people with this.
Yeah. Racial minorities. So since we have a school here, it could be one of the reasons why we have higher KSI
Mm-hmm.
in terms of pedestrian and bicycles, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I think a good place for us to, or who we should include is the Fort Lauderdale Housing Authority. I used to know the director. I don't know if he's still there now. And they are the ones, I remember when they renovated the Kennedy homes and they upgraded them.
Mhm.
Maybe they have like a conference room or something that somebody could go there and speak and just maybe people would come if they bring like waters or something, they'll come and listen and get educated that way.
Yeah,
Good idea.
yeah. I think it's important to get into the neighborhood.
Right, even if you stuck up,
Yeah, it's important to get into the neighborhood and talk to
Right.
them. They're the
Mhm.
ones, they won't probably come out to a meeting, but
But if it's on the
One-
it's on the premises there,
Yeah.
like that, and
they're
you
the ones that
entice
would
them.
give us the most input. We're
Mhm.
guessing, we don't live there, so we don't really know. But yes, if you actually live in the neighborhood, which I'm sure that's what this was meant to do, is to reach the people in the neighborhood, to get them to come out. Maybe they're having a little more of that conversation in the, in the
In
other,
person today.
yeah, the people that are attending. So it'll be interesting
Yeah.
to hear what might be said among the others that are present in the room. But I think we kind of discovered a few things ourselves from looking at this.
Mhm.
We actually understand what it is when they describe the neighborhoods with that are suffering the most, and they do come from the lower income. In most of the studies that they're doing, that I'm listening to, when when they're presenting their reports, it could be Lauderhill or Lauderdale Lakes or certain areas where yeah, it's a lower income level.
Yeah.
Most, and would need to walk maybe more, have less, or bike ride. Well, you're very good with the maps, Celine, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
You've made it a lot easier to visualize where we are.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely delete my original comments. But no, that's what I think that was a good start, like starting out where the actual corridor is itself. Because
Yeah.
I just was under the impression it was right there by the bus shelter. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No
well,
problem. Like the whole,
it's
I'm
the whole
sure
corridor
everything is
anyway,
affected.
but
Yeah.
now that we look at it so much more closely, we see with that one particular intersection
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
is definitely, from what we can see from the, then you go across to Southwest 14th. What's over there? That's West Broward there, 14th. looks like, again, there were more in 15th Avenue, so that would be
Yeah.
a little further west.
Mm-hmm.
Right, heading towards like 95.
Yeah. If we honed in a little bit there, Colleen, would we see anything else that we might?
No, I think you picked a lot of great points that you had for sure.
Because we have, what's close to there? Is that another very prominent residential area there, Northwest 14th, 15th?
I'm trying to.
But if you look though, heading east on Broward, still there's other purples, you know, there's other pedestrians. And
Mhm.
I think that also this has not to do with that, but people jaywalking. I see
Jaywalking.
all the time.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Wasn't jaywalking an offense, I think, you know, in certain areas. We don't use it here, I don't think, but yeah, well, you know what the problem is, Colleen? If you look at that and analyze it, the bus stops, you know, people,
Mhm.
they don't want to walk to the end of the street or walk to a
Right, we
crosswalk.
brought that up. Mhm.
You know, people just want to, I see it all the time. I mean, it's like shocking watching them just cross the middle of the street. One guy walked right in front of me the other day, right on Broward
Oh.
or Sunrise. Yeah, just walked right in front of the car.
Yeah.
So, you know, as a driver, you have to be so alert too.
Okay,
Love that. Thank you so much.
great job.
I appreciate all your input and will make sure to deliver everything to our team.
Great.
We will be working on the design concept, and then hopefully by the end of the beginning of the year, next year, we will meet again and present our design to you and get more feedback and comments as well.
Great. Okay. Well, Colleen,
Thank you. Thanks,
I
Marianne.
look forward to meeting you.
See you in January.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, Celine.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for attending.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.